Okay, I'm trying to retire, but this election, I tell you, it has a lot going on. First of all, now I'm seeing a lot of people out there protesting in the streets, and my thought is, for what? What are you doing? Do you just want to be a part of a movement just to say, hey, I was there in 2016 when they were out protesting against Donald Trump? Look, Donald Trump won the election fair and square, whether you like it or not. Trump supporters would have had to eat it if she would have won. Granted, I would have been furious, and I might have said, you know what, I'm moving to Canada too. But to get out there and protest is not going to change anything. When my thought is this, people assume that Donald Trump is going to get in there and just wreak havoc. And they're making it a problem before it's a problem. And I'm going, don't make it a problem unless it's a problem. And right now, he hasn't even been sworn in, and people are out there protesting, get him out of there. Do they really think that they're going to say, oh, let's reverse the decision? Let's get Donald Trump out of there. If he gets into office and he just start dictating and enslaving black people and immigrants and all of that stuff, trust me, the whole nation, including me, would be first to launch a revolt. But the point is, one, he's not even been sworn in. Two, that's not going to happen because there's a little something called checks and balances in the United States. And I don't know who these group of people are. I mean, I don't even know if they're using their brain. What's their end game? If you're going to protest, you got to have an end game. What's your demands? What are you going to go to? If the media run up to him and say, hey, listen, so on, so on. What is this about? Oh, we want Donald Trump out of there. Okay, that's not going to happen. What else? That's it. That's all they have. We want Donald Trump out of there. And that's not going to happen. If anything, we need to stop pretending that it was hateful white America that just wanted Donald Trump in and that's why he got in. And that is a horrible stereotype and a horrible narrative that's been painted. Let's be honest, there were some issues that were cross lateral, whether you were white, black, Latino, whatever. Not everyone wants a very liberal society that embraces whatever. I mean, you don't have to be a skinhead or a Ku Klux Klan member to not want a Supreme Court justice that is going to allow little boys and little girls to use the restroom together. You don't have to be some hate monger to say, you know what, we need to shut down the borders so that America will be safe from enemies crossing over that border. You don't have to be somebody that is anti-religious to say, okay, until we can figure out how to screen a lot of people that come from areas that have been known for a lot of terrorism, we need to just kind of say, yeah, we need to say, hey, look, it ain't your fault. We like to trust and believe. You mean as well, but we got to get a cap on things first. And once we figure it out, we'll make some adjustments. These are things that a lot of Americans, white, black, whatever, is going, I'm not a racist, but I see that that makes sense. And they're trying to make it out as if everything Donald Trump has said was racially motivated and only uneducated back heel white people came out like, yep, we're gonna vote Donald Trump in because it's my God-given right. I won't keep my gun. Let me tell you something. This is America. I know the constipation, okay? I know the constipation. They act like that's the people that's out there that voted for Donald Trump. And it's almost offensive. As if intelligent people didn't vote for Donald Trump, or as if black people didn't vote for Donald Trump, or if Latino people didn't vote for Donald Trump. And that is not the case. So people, calm down. Calm down. You're making it a problem before it's a problem. If we see that Donald Trump gets in there and he becomes this horrific Hitler type dictator, I will join the march. But until that happens, settle down. What is wrong with people? I mean, I noticed that a lot of them out there were young. Maybe they're just young and they want to be a part of some hippie movement where they're going, yeah, this makes me seem cool, dude, and I'm not going to let this go down, man. We're going to fight for. But other than that, why would you be out there doing that? What is your end game? What is it going to change? All it's going to do is create more division within the United States. Give the man a chance to see what he's going to do. half of these narratives and positions and arguments that people are making, unfortunately, has been driven home by a campaign whose whole job was to paint a false narrative about the other candidate. And unfortunately, people can't see that that was all for show and is over now. The candidacy is over. The president's there. You don't have to keep dragging it on and saying, well, since all those commercials said he was racist and a rapist, we got to keep this in our mind. It was politics. Don't y'all realize how dirty politics is? Half of the stuff that he said was taken out of context. Donald Trump has been surrounded by a whole bunch of African Americans almost all his life, not just for the campaign. And for y'all to go out there and be so naive to think that this man is sitting back going, now how can I destroy all the black people and all of the Mexicans? I want a whole white nation. You are being naive. And I really wish people would just settle down. You know, it's frustrating, you know. But that's another thought. I mean, I said I was going to just lay off of this, but it's been kind of tough. And, you know, some of the people on my YouTube channel was like, no, Kev, don't stop posting. It's getting me in a lot of trouble. Thanks. But anyway, I appreciate the support. Hopefully this will all die down and people will realize that Donald Trump does not just represent a whole bunch of divisiveness. That's not why we voted for him. There's some major points that a lot of people, not just white people, feel strongly over. We want to be able to have freedom of speech. We don't want such a liberal society that they're going to force laws upon us. And if we don't embrace them, we're looked at as a xenophobe, whatever phobe they trying to say we are, you know. And trust me, I am one that believes in freedom of choice and freedom of speech. What people want to do in their own privacy, wherever they're at, knock yourself out, enjoy yourself. But we can't afford to have a Supreme Court justice in that seat that is going to force certain behaviors on society and not take in consideration the majority, you know. And that was one of my biggest motivations for voting. Like I said, whatever people do privately, that's their business. I won't come up in your house saying you don't need to be doing this and this and that. But don't take your business and force it down everybody else's throat. And that's a big issue for a lot of Americans, not just white Americans. I don't want somebody saying that, Kev, you can't own a gun, or we need to know where your gun is at. Why you need to know where my gun is at, man? Why you need to know? Are you coming to get it? You know, it's stuff like that. We don't want a society that just says, you know what? We're going to just be this big melting pot, even though we're at war with radical Islam. We're going to be a melting pot and just let hundreds and thousands of people from a known terroristic area come on into the country, and we can't vet them. And, you know, I feel for them. I don't want the refugees suffering and being killed, but it ain't about religion. It's about common sense. And y'all making it seem like it's about racism. It's common sense. If you cannot vet them, you got to always err to caution. You got to always say, you know what? I can't risk the lives of Americans right now. Let's see if we can set up a refugee camp somewhere else and provide resources. But we can't just take the chance of saying, come on in. We just hope you mean us well. You know, these are logical things. And see, the same people that are going, you know what? That's hate. That's hate stuff. I can't believe it's hate stuff. Those same people would be the same people that would be going absolutely nuts if something horrific happened. And then they're going to be going, well, what happened? How'd this happen? Who vetted them? Didn't anybody vet these people? You know, so Donald Trump had to bring up some tough topics. And the only reason people are looking at these topics as racist and all of that stuff is because we have been forced to think so liberal in our society that everything's a problem. Everybody's hypersensitive. And that is going to be the downfall of us. If I was an enemy of the United States, I would say, let me go over there and blend in and find out all the ways we can exploit their political correctness. I can do pretty much whatever. And I ain't going to be tortured. I ain't going to be put in jail. They'll send me right back. I mean, all kind of crazy stuff that America has adopted and feels like this is okay, you know. And I'm going, tough choices need to be made to keep us safe. And I'm not talking racially motivated. I'm not talking about stuff that you obviously can see. That's not good. I'm talking about common sense stuff. And then when people bring up, well, Donald Trump's a sex offender and he's a rapist, I'm going, how naive can you be? You know what? All of these accusations, now that this is over, you'll see will fade away. The motivation for a lot of those people to come forward was political, and who knows what they got in return, but that stuff will fade away. And then you'll be sitting back in your mind still carrying it, saying, well, yeah, he was a sex offender, but whatever happened with that? Whatever happened with it, it was only used for a particular time to keep you from voting for him. That's what it was. Boy, I tell you. And let's just say this. What if he was? Here's my thing. Somebody said something. This was a woman who said this to me today. Black lady. She said, you know what? Even if Donald Trump was a sex offender or whatever they claim he was, she's like, what that got to do with me? Do I feel that Donald Trump is going to leave the White House, come down, knock on my door, grab my daughter, just yank her out into the yard and molest her? I'm going, yeah, you got a point. I never thought about it like that. But the reality is this. You got to look at the big issues, people. And we cannot be forced into becoming so liberal in our society that people can't vocalize what they feel and what they think. And that's where we were heading. If Hillary Clinton would have got into office, she would have pushed that agenda till the cows come home. And every time elections would come up, her and the rest of the Democrats will fall right back to it and say, hey, to win against all of the quote unquote conservatives, because I'm really not even a conservative. I'm a logical thinking person. But all they're going to do is always say, you know what? Let's push agendas that society is very hypersensitive over. Let's push race. Let's push homosexuality. Let's push freedom of speech, or really it ain't freedom of speech. It's censoring of speech, because it's ironic that liberals say we should be able to say whatever. They were the first ones that came out with the, everybody should be able to speak this back in the 60s and 70s. Dude, we shouldn't be censored, man. Don't censor us. I should be able to say whatever I want to say. And then now all of a sudden it's flipped. The same liberals are telling us, you can't say that, man. It's not politically correct. I was dancing with someone. I do some salsa dancing. One time I was dancing with a lady, and I made the comment of saying, wow, you really dance well. I love the way you submit to the movement of the man, his lead. She said, to submit? I was like, I didn't even know what to say. I was like, not submit. I'm glad that you equally agree with your decisions, your own individual decisions to move in the same direction as my. I'm thinking too much. I'm going, you know what? This is what we become. I got to think every time I say something like, uh-oh, how's this going to hurt somebody's feelings? And I'm not saying we should just look to be rude. There's ways to say things and express your opinion without being offensive. But if my opinion don't agree with yours, don't come and try to shut my business down. Don't boycott me. Don't sit back and say, I'm going to force my agenda not only down your throat, but I'm going to make you like it. And that's where we're going. And so, people, all I'm saying, calm down. Relax. Life will go on. Donald Trump is not going to get in there like Yosemite Sam shooting and yip, yip, yee-hoo, ooh, now it's time to blow up everybody. Let's go and kill all the black people. Let's go and get rid of all the Mexicans. It's not going to go down like that. And y'all are making a big fuss over nothing. Hillary Clinton just got her tail whooped. That's it. Take the loss, man. That is it. And I got to give it to Donald. Whether you a Donald supporter or not, this man ran a campaign with significantly less money than Hillary Clinton. Not only did he use less money, he used less resources. He didn't need Jay-Z and Beyonce and all them other people that came out. He didn't need none of that. This man ran circles around her with campaigning. God knows how many he did a day, 5, 6. It was ridiculous. For a 70-year-old man to be doing that, he was knocking it out every single day. This man fought against his own party. He fought against the Democratic Party, and he fought against the media. I mean, if nothing more, you got to give him credit. He single-handedly whooped her tail. And I got to give a lot of credit to, what is her name? His campaign manager, Kellyanne. But she's hot. She did her thing, man. I got to give it to her. But nonetheless, this man went old school. He went straight. If this was football, he went straight at him at the defense, just smash mouth. He wasn't running no trick plays, nothing. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna beat you up, just going straight up the middle, pounding it right in the middle. And that's what he did. And Hillary, just assumed that she was going to get all the followers from Obama. All of the liberals were just gonna come out of nowhere. She was taking breaks, took a couple vacations, I guess, and just assumed that, I got it in the bag. I don't have to rely on actually telling people what I'm going to do for them. I don't have to rely on drilling down my policies or having even somewhat of a campaign slogan. I mean, better together. I'm like, I don't even. Anyway, she stole so many other people's campaign slogans. When they go low, we go high, and all that stuff. But her whole campaign was based on, don't vote for this guy. He's a bad guy. And then going back to her campaign managers and saying how much other garbage we can either dig up or make up. And they threw it all at him. And for a while, he took it, recovered from it, and he beat her, just fair and square. And for people to complain, I'm going, what are you complaining about? Your candidate had every advantage possible. Billions. She had over $1 billion worth of campaign contribution. That is ridiculous. So I would rather elect a president that utilizes resources a lot better. Less money out of pocket, more productivity. People don't think like that. That's just too much like right. Like too much like common sense. So get out the streets, put your picket signs away. Use them for a better cause. Use it for something that actually is worth it. Right now, y'all wasting your time and you're going to end up getting taken to jail for nothing. Then you're going to blame Donald Trump for that. Donald Trump, he told the police to beat us and take us to jail for expressing our opinion in the middle of the freeway. Stuff like that. Boy, I tell you. Anyway, I tried to get out, but like Michael Corleone say, the more I try to get out, they pull me back in. Hopefully this will be now my last comment on this whole election stuff. Peace.